My hat goes off to him even more every day, because each and every day he does something that's helpful not to just himself, but to other people.
Jake Paul, well done on building the fight. He did a great job. I don't think he did no trash talk. He didn't have to build the hype, except for the slap. The slap was, I think that was legit.
Professional boxers have varied and passionate opinions about Jake Paul debating his influence skills and controversial approach to boxing. Alex Volkanovski shares his thoughts, saying he was relieved that Jake didn't hurt 58-year-old Mike.
Tyson did well. I was a bit worried about this fight, thinking Jake Paul could really go out there and hurt him. And he didn't last long. You know, it was obviously a couple of rounds where he looked maybe it was a little more dangerous. And then it just sort of, you know, he would try and get into range. He just found it very hard. You know, Jake Paul obviously not letting him get close, knowing that, you know, he probably can still hit hard. It still looked like he could hit hard. Just trying to find him is always going to be harder. Fair play to both of them. Mike Tyson still a legend. Jake Paul, well done on building the fight. He did a great job. Except for the slap. The slap was, I think that was legit. That wasn't a setup. I think, yeah, Jake Paul did step on his toe. And then Mike Tyson just got the shits. Obviously, I think he said it hurt. So his instant reaction was just to slap him. And when I seen that, I was like, oh, mate, he still got that fast twitch. That wasn't too bad. But so, yeah, that's why probably Jake Paul was still playing a little bit safer, out of respect, and let's not get caught by Mike Tyson.
He also acknowledges Jake Paul's promotional skills, stating, Jake Paul, well done on building the fight. However, he adds a critique. Andre Ward, a retired undefeated professional boxer and former two-division world champion.
Mike Tyson shouldn't be getting in there with a 26-year-old man. And I know Jake Paul's a joker and he can't fight and he's lived in clown world, but he still shouldn't be punching a 58-year-old man in the head. He just shouldn't be doing it. I don't care if it's Mike Tyson or a man on the street or someone out of a UFC, 58 years old. I mean, it's too old to be getting punched in the head. So I'm hoping that the contract's sensible and they're going to take the time a little bit. I mean, Jake Paul's probably going to try and chin him in it because he's got a massive ego and he wants everyone to believe he's a great fighter. But I don't know what pleasure you can take from beating an old Mike Tyson.
Weighed in on the controversy surrounding Jake Paul. He noted that Jake Paul is a fighter whom people don't take seriously. But he also pointed out Jake's ability to attract attention.
That made Jake realize that he couldn't be reckless against him. But then as time went on, he realized that that threat was not as present as he might have thought. That first jab was probably the best punch Mike landed the entire fight. You know, Jake Paul, the boxer, is much better than people want to give him credit for. I don't know that this does anything for that, because he fought a 58-year-old man. He fought a 58-year-old man to a decision. That 58-year-old man comes out on the other side looking pretty good, if you ask me. He looked like you would expect a 58-year-old man to look in a professional boxing match. To their credit, they actually fought. It did not look like either of them was taking anything off of their punches. It did not look like this thing was staged.
Carl Froch, a former super middleweight world champion, was highly disappointed by Paul's reputation, wrote in his 2016 book, Paul. Critical of Jake Paul's conduct, FRCH dismissed Jake's credibility as a fighter.
Now, everyone is talking about how staged this fight was. I do believe it was scripted. And I believe that Tyson was certainly held back. Look, I'm a fighter and I can see it. It goes on the record and it was sanctioned. So Jake Paul paid to get the W on his record?
Bruh.
For what? For your own personal satisfaction?
Bruh.
I keep telling you, if you want to be a real fighter, like you say you want to be, what are you doing?
Shit, I don't even know.
Like, who's next? Joe Biden? The fight drew 65 million households, which means roughly 200 million eyeballs were watching. And the huge winners were Amanda Serrano and Katie
Saying,
Tatum.
I know Jake Paul is a joker and he can't fight, and he is living in a clown world. BR further condemned Jake for engaging in a fight with Tyson Daniel Cormier, a retired heavyweight and light heavyweight champion. With a reputation for fair and nuanced commentary, offered a more balanced view of Jake Paul's abilities.
Mike Tyson will win this fight, can win this fight, all of that shit. We're not doing that anymore. Every single time anyone ever says this, I'm just going to go, here's my case, right? Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. There's my case. Now shut the fuck up. Thank you. Another thing we learned from this fight is to all the old heads out there who still think they can go, young men will fuck you up, boy. Yeah, you will get your ass beat by a young man out there, because there's still a lot of old dudes who still think they can hang. And look at Mike Tyson, right? Mike Tyson is tougher than all you guys, could knock all you out, and he got his ass handed to him by a 27-year-old. I look at that, and you got like Beterbiev, Ryan Garcia, Jake Paul. He's got the world on strings right now, and that's the problem with this. Is it was a genius business move. As shit of a fight as it was, he's got the whole world of them talking about him in the palm of his hand, and he is laughing. Imagine Daniel Dubois in a ring with Jake Paul. Fucking hell, that would be brutal. No offense to Jake, but who wouldn't get their ass kicked off Daniel Dubois?
Recognizing Jake's skills as a boxer, Cormier said, "You know, Jake Paul, the boxer, is much better than people want to give him credit for." Tony Jeffrey, an Olympic bronze medalist and a former professional boxer turned boxing analyst.
Did you guys watch the Tyson fight?
We did.
With our eyes almost shut.
Jake Paul really played me for a fool. I've paid every time to watch Jake Paul get his face smashed.
And he really hasn't ever really got his face smashed.
And I'm like, this is the time.
Every time.
This is going to happen. And then Mike Tyson looked cold.
His legs
were stiff. I was like, ooh, it looks like it hurts.
What I heard,
allegedly,
of course.
We don't spread rumors about anyone except Jake Paul.
It was like Mike Tyson couldn't throw uppercuts the entire fight, and then also if it didn't get to at least round 7, Mike would make like 1 or 2 million compared to 20.
Because we all knew that Mike Tyson, being 58 years old, like if he was going to win, it was
exactly.
Even when Mike Tyson was in his prime, he was the guy.
It would
who
be
was
a
like,
5-second fight.
You have to win in the first 5 seconds because he's a pit bull, and then he kind of gets a little tired after, like,
or loses it. Just starts biting people.
It seemed like Mike really didn't go Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
No.
Even a little bit.
Not even his legs.
What did you think of the biting fixation?
Well, allegedly, I saw some TikToks saying that was kind of like a warning. Apparently, they had a pact that when he would bite his glove, that would indicate slow down.
I'm done watching Jake Paul fight boxers in their prime.
Like he fought Tommy Fury and he
I'll watch that, and he lost.
Yeah, exactly.
So the only actual boxer he's fought, he's lost.
Took a more technical perspective on the fight. Praising Jake Paul's approach in the ring, Jeffrey said this. Moreover, Oscar De La Hoya, a boxing legend and former professional baseball player, was a very different animal. Division world champion was scathing in his critique of Jake Paul's career trajectory.
From the third round on, it is Jake Paul's fight. But like, even if I say that, bro, you had to resort to getting a decision against a 58-year-old man. Like, this is what I was talking about. I don't understand why Jake Paul would even entertain this fight. Because I literally cannot give him his flowers. Because what am I giving him his flowers for? Oh, congratulations, you took a senior citizen to a decision. Like, that's all I can say. Oh, good. You stung him a few times, Jake. Didn't knock him down once, though. Like, I'll be real with you. After watching this, bro, Mike Tyson 5 years ago probably beats Jake Paul. Mike Tyson now has more power than Jake Paul does. He just lacks literally everything else. Like, one of the announcers said during the fight, and it fits, he has all the power in the world, but has no way to get it to him. Like, I don't know what I have to say. Like, if you're a Jake Paul fan, tell me how you're gonna gas up this fight. The only person who deserves respect out of this is the 58-year-old Mike Tyson. Jake Paul was taunting him. Like, I'm sorry, like, in any other fight, this would be dope. In this fight, it's just weird. Oh, cool. I didn't get KO'd by a senior citizen. Those are gonna be the headlines.
Hoya suggested that Jake's fight was not about competition, but personal ego, saying Jake Paul paid to get the W on his record for what? For your own personal satisfaction. De La Hoya went on to mock Jake's future plans, sarcastically asking who Jake wants to fight next.
Especially after seeing him out there. But Jake, definitely took it easy on him. And rightfully so. Imagine if he up Mike Tyson. He'd be like, everyone would hate him.
Remember at the pre-fight thing, he literally like guttural screamed that he's gonna kill him.
He must die.
Yeah, whatever, yeah. And I said it, I think I said on that episode, I'm like, he's gonna feel really silly if he just cracks him in the temple and kills Mike Tyson after screaming that. That won't be very good for his reputation.
Oh, so this is what he's doing now? Now he's going after people that aren't even boxers?
Speed, height. Let's see. He's 5'9". So yeah, I mean,
that's
Jake should fight somebody
Jake's like
his own
6'1".
size, his own age, just enough. Who knows how
Jake
to.
Paul often labeled Jake wants to fight next. Jake called out defendant's worth. Boxing's biggest provocator addressed the criticism he constantly receives. He explained his approach to public perception, saying, "People just hate me, and I intentionally say things to make them hate me."
And then by the end of the fight, it was clear this was a 58-year-old man, and he looked like a 58-year-old man. And I have a lot of issues with this. I don't think this fight should have ever happened. I think it says a lot of bad things about the combat sports world and sets a really dangerous precedent going forward. We're going to talk about the whole fight clearance approval process and then just physiologically why he looked the way he did. There's a lot of just true anatomy and physiology changes that explain why Tyson looked so bad and play a role in why this type of thing should not happen. Each state has an athletic commission that governs licenses for combat sports. It's not a national standard, it's state by state, and there's a wide variety of medical clearance processes and rules in place from one state to another. That probably played some role in where this fight happened because Texas has some of the more lenient medical clearance processes. So here you can see if you're going to apply to get a license, you basically have to have a medical exam, you have to have some negative blood work, which is pretty self-explanatory. You have to have passed an eye exam within the previous 6 months, and if you are over the age of 36, you are considered a older competitor and you have to have more favorable physical testing, limited, including EEG, EK.
Boxing experts analyzing the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight say Jake Paul got the whole world on strings right now. And that's the problem with this. It was a genius business move as a fight. As it was, he's got the whole world talking about him.